Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a story that's deeply emotional, frustrating, and honestly, heartbreaking. You know how family is supposed to be that safe place, that group of people you can trust. Well, sometimes, that trust gets completely shattered. Today's story is about a woman who had to make the difficult decision to cut off her sister and her family after her niece told some truly damaging lies. Is this an "Am I the a-hole" post, and I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. So, let's jump in. I, 28 female, invited my sister, 40 female, and my niece, 17 female, over for a pool party that my husband and I were hosting. We had a few friends over and many brought their kids. For background, my husband and I don't have kids and are undecided on whether or not we want any, but always find something for us to do where our friends who do have kids feel included. Although we keep things pretty kid-friendly, we still always serve alcohol at our get-togethers. Nothing too crazy, just some beers and seltzers. My sister wasn't able to stay for long as she had work later in the night. I told her since her 17-year-old and her 12-year-old were having fun that they could stay the night and I would take them home in the morning. She let them stay, and about 2 hours later my 17-year-old niece tells me her mom wants her home and to look for a ride from someone else because I was drinking. I had only one drink earlier that day while setting up for the party hours ago. I let the girls leave with my friend since they lived in the same neighborhood. I texted my sister and confronted her why she asked the girls to look for a ride home. She then told me that my 17-year-old niece told both her parents that everyone at the party was smoking weed, getting drunk and offering her both those substances. That she felt too uncomfortable to stay. It was a small get-together of around 15 adults and their kids, nobody was smoking and absolutely nobody offered her anything. Can you imagine the betrayal? You open your home, take care of your family, and then your own niece, who you've been there for time and time again, throws you under the bus with lies that could ruin your life. And what's worse? Her parents, the people who should be holding her accountable, actually believed her. Most of my friends had watched her and her siblings growing up, so it wasn't like they were strangers to my sister or her kids either. Everyone there had their kids or work in respectful positions, including myself. I work in law enforcement and something like that rumor could cost me my job or even one of my guests' jobs or kids. My sister then told me that she doesn't think what her daughter said was untrue and that my niece even told her that my friends and I did nothing but talk bad about my sister behind her back after she left. Again, another lie. My brother-in-law then became involved and told me that it was no place for him to say who is saying the truth as everything was all he said she said. And that he's sorry that I'm upset. I was livid to find out that my niece would not be disciplined for spreading such rumors and that they would even believe something like that. I was always the first person they would call to control any situation where my niece and her parents would be fighting or she would run away. They would call me to go pick her up because they couldn't handle her attitude anymore. This situation is so sad. It's about more than just a few lies. It's about trust, family, and the lengths you go to protect the people you care about, only for them to betray that trust in the worst way possible. The niece clearly needs help, and I'm glad she's in therapy, but her parents are failing her by not holding her accountable for her actions. Edit 1. Have cameras in our pool area and I will be showing and sending footage to both my sister and brother-in-law. Also, they both work in law enforcement as well and do know what these types of accusations can do to mine and my husband's careers. Another detail to add is that they themselves have been contacted by the school for accusations my niece has said about them and vice versa, where they had to contact teachers for something my niece accused them of as well. I understand being a parent and standing by your child's side, but when they've had to deal with this situation before. It gets worse, though. After confronting her sister, she finds out that her niece has a history of lying. Not only that, but her sister brushes it off, saying, "We all know she lies," as if that excuses the behavior. And to make matters even more toxic, her sister belittles her job, saying it's not like you have a real law enforcement job. Can you feel the anger just building up? Honestly, In this case, I don't think our storyteller is the a-hole for cutting off her sister and niece. She's protecting herself, her marriage, her job, and her peace of mind. But what do you all think? Have you ever had to deal with a situation like this in your family? Let me know in the comments. Last edit. 1. My niece is in therapy and has been for a couple of years. It was suggested by her school counselor and her parents found a therapist and she see them like once or twice a month. She has a really bad perception of therapy as her parents say therapy does not work and is only for crazy people, and now she seems to have the same perception. 2. Not everyone in law enforcement is a cop. LOL. I work more in the clerical side of my department. I'm finishing up school to be more in the psychology side of things. Whereas my sister and Bill work more hands-on with inmates. 3. I told my sister about the cameras and emailed her any and all footage from the backyard and front. She then told me that I was being overdramatic with the whole situation and that we all know her daughter lies. I reiterated how lies like that could cost me my job or my friends' jobs, and she said, "It's not like you have a real law enforcement job." She doesn't feel like an apology is necessary. I didn't feel like fighting anymore and decided that NC would be best for now. 4. Throwing this in here since it's on the same topic, I spoke with my brother, 26M, about the situation. Growing up with 3 older sisters, he always knew how to stay out of the drama and always be neutral with all of us. He lives a state away and we don't have much contact besides the occasional "how are you" texts. I told him about the situation and asked how he would handle it. Come to find out, she did the same to him at my wedding about 8 months ago. My brother works with kids and that could have cost him his job as well. My niece told her parents my brother was sneaking her drinks and they believed her, even though they were at my wedding as well. He said he went NC after that since he didn't think the drama was worth it, as he lives a whole state away and doesn't really come visit unless it's for Christmas. Which he didn't this past year, but we all thought it was because he had just been in town for my wedding. Family drama like this can be incredibly painful, and cutting ties with loved ones is never easy. But sometimes, we have to protect ourselves from the people we care about most. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear more stories like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Stay strong, and I'll see you next time.